obviously, I can't say, how do you describe the show to newcomers? Because I get the impression you guys are making this stand on its own. No knowledge of Avengers is necessary.
Trying to.
Yeah. People who are Marvel fans like the show because everything I've already seen in Marvel Universe, cinematic universe, is interesting in that realm. So they can relate to it that way. And we're also just dealing, I think Jed and I have always been a fan of extreme storytelling, where you take relatable human emotional moments and themes in extreme circumstances. And we have the ability to do that on the show because it exists in the Marvel universe.
Right, and we're trying to take the universe they've established in the movies and sort of tell stories through a different lens of that same world. The movies focus on people with huge powers, and no one in our show has powers. It's about real people living in that extreme world and what that would be like, and dealing with those problems personally and just globally, what it's like to live in a superhero world.
Because our main cast of characters are real people. And the face of humanity that you've seen in the Marvel movies has been Agent Coulson. Now we're a team of 6.
Yes, to expand the power.
Is there a challenge in creating a show that stands on its own in a sense by focusing on S.H.I.E.L.D. and yet still suggest enough of the cinematic universe that people are going to come into the show no matter what, expecting it to some degree?
Sure, we don't want to do the thing where...
You just missed Iron Man.
Right. Look, it's footprint.
Yeah. Wow.
So we definitely want to spend some time with these characters right away to get to know them, to bring people back. And we think that we're very excited about the cast of characters, both in terms of the show, but the actors as well. We have a great cast, so we think that we'll be able to tell sort of grounded, realistic stories about what it would be like to be in that world, so that if you're not seeing that stuff, not that you won't be missing it because you'll be, invested in these characters. So that's our hope.
Because this is sort of coming a fan request to bring back Coulson, do you feel any sort of pressure or sort of desire to want to make sure to kind of meet that request and do something specific?
Well, he's definitely back.
Yes.
We met that request.
One request has been met.
Yeah. And I think everyone will have their theories of how and what and why. And I think, we always say that everyone is going to guess an assortment of things, maybe a handful of things. And it's going to be about the journey of
Answering that question and taking our time with it.
Taking a long time with it, yeah.
Because we know there'll be questions and we plan on answering.
So I didn't see the pilot today, but
you did?
we will not get any definitive answer then about why Coulson is back in this pilot.
You will just know he's back.
Okay.
And
then it takes place after Avengers.
yes.
How long does it take for that storyline to play out? Are we looking at a full season arc finding out about this mystery about Coulson's death?
We're not going to say exactly, but I will say we don't plan on driving people crazy. We don't want people to just sit there and really, come on.
There will be little pearls throughout that will be in that tasty enough for you to satiate you for, the duration.
So we know we have a responsibility with that storyline, and we want to pay it off in a satisfying way.
Can you talk about the challenge of bringing him back in regards to, obviously you don't want to lessen the emotional strength of Avengers, but naturally that must have been a consideration, like, oh my God, are we robbing Avengers of its principal, tragedy? Can you talk about that?
Yeah.
But it must have been a challenge. It must have been difficult. Can you
It's
talk
definitely
about
a concern because you don't want it to just not mean anything to Avengers. So we think we've successfully done that and plan to, with what we plan to do, of which we can say no.
In no way are we dismissing.
Right. I think it's important that has meaning and this has new meaning. So we think we've succeeded in that.
It's very tricky to do these here interviews because
And that's everything you can do.
yeah.
But so when you're road mapping this out, we know it's like its own story with a new cast of characters, but do you have to acknowledge or be concerned about what's happening in future movies that block or hinder certain stories, or
We're very connected to what's happening in the future, and we hope to sort of weave into and then weave out on our own and back in. Yeah.
We saw that with Extremists, that played a big part in the pilot. Do you guys have something planned for Thor that maybe will be introduced?
That's a level set.
Yeah. I think the go-to answer is like, it's classified.
We don't want to rely on the films in any way, and there's definitely lots of stuff that can fall out or lead up to the film. So we're going to play with that as much as we can. Without, it's kind of a puzzle in our brains to try to figure all that. And there's a lot of pieces in it in terms of films and everybody involved. So it is our goal to do that as much as we can and to make it rewarding on both sides, both to watch the films and to watch the TV show. More rewarding if you're watching both.
Is it too dopey a description? It's probably a dumb comparison, but is this kind of like the X-Files with superheroes in the sense that there are these events happening all over and our agents are going out to investigate?
A little bit, sure.
It's here. I think
Is that
that's...
right, or is that too dopey?
No, that's not dopey.
That's not dopey?
I don't
Okay.
think
You
that's
shouldn't
dopey.
feel bad about that.
Yeah.
I might though. I might go home tonight feeling really bad.
No, we think that it's a world with lots of crazy stuff happening. So.
Post the event, I mean, we saw during the Battle of New York, the portal was open from our universe to another. And so, maybe there are consequences.
Right, and people know that aliens exist.
People know that superheroes exist.
Yeah, and that changes the way the world is right away. So that's sort of the world we're living in, and a lot of stuff we're trying to do.
Can you talk about your characters? For newcomers, some of them do have superpowers, right? Or at least
Our main cast?
there's a possibility for that. No.
Our main cast are all S.H.I.E.L.D. Our people.
So we're not going to see any surprise
they're
powers.
each,
Well, we don't know what's coming. There's a little bit, hopefully there'll be many of these. But no, our intent is to ground it in real people because we think that we don't have $200+ million to make each one. So one of the things that we
That was supposed to be the secret.
right. So we think that's a way we can ground the stories and make them relatable, but also, if a giant storms through the city, the movie would be about the giant, we would be about the guy on the ground.
Houses, yeah.
Who's the foot lands next to, and the consequences of that. Or the person who grabs onto the foot and just got.
Goes for a ride.
It's interesting you guys bring that up though because just for example, Man of Steel this summer's gotten a lot of backlash with just the fact how many people would have been killed in that situation and stuff like that. Is it important for you guys to really pay service to the other side of it? We don't really see it.
Absolutely, yeah. There's fallout in those movies they never do. They never talk about the fact that the city was destroyed.
Other than, seeing a weight cruiser run about the city during the Avengers, we don't really have a good place to all the destruction that's happening during that. So, that's what our show could dive into.
And also will be incorporated.
But is it principally the espionage as opposed to superheroes? I mean, is the percentage-wise, are we looking at more of an espionage show than a superhero show?
Everything.
It's everything.
All your dreams will come true.
Okay.
I mean, S.H.I.E.L.D. is a spy organization, so there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say one of the interesting, tricky things perhaps is that, when the Indiana Jones universe was beloved, the cinematic universe, but then they came out with Indiana Jones Chronicles on TV and it was a different genre. Suddenly it was like, this is your weekly history lesson. Fans rejected that. Do you feel a little bit of can you talk about the trickiness there? Because you want to reward the fans who are used to that pure superhero stuff they got so far.
We honestly do have we're planning to have a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
That is our goal.
I'm sorry, a little bit of...
A little bit of everything.
Okay, yeah.
The episodes are standalone, and the shows have followed throughout. But we'll highlight the spy organization of it. We'll highlight the world, the universe they exist in, which has been defined by the Marvels and the comics. And then we'll introduce some new things because we can with this new cast of characters.
We also, the Marvel brand, the thing that we think makes the movie successful and the reason it's a fun world for us to play in is that there's something for everybody. We think that humor is a big part of that. One of the reasons we talk a lot about the end of the Avengers. The end of the Avengers is 20 minutes of action and it's a thrill ride. But when you walk out, you remember key moments and, you remember Thor getting blacked out. Yeah, you remember the Yeah, and you remember the team coming together, and those are the things that you latch onto, and you feel like you can live in that space very easily without, spending billions of dollars. And we think that gives something for everybody. You'll have action, you'll have emotion, and you'll have humor. We think it's going to be a fun show to watch.
How much are you balancing between characters that exist in the Marvel universe and new ones that you want to create? Like, is there going to be more of one, more or less of the other?
That's a moving target.
Yeah.
We
So what we have so far, it's
mostly new,
little hits of, God, what can we say?
It's a show that's coming out.
Yeah. In September.
It's fun because it's also, you think of something, the Marvel universe, the comic universe is so vast. You can think of something and be, is there a guy called that? You can work.
The answer is always yes.
Yes, yeah. So you can work both ways. You can pull from it or inform from
I
it.
mean, come on. How did I
Speaking of speaking of Marvel,
Mike?
Michael.
Yes.
We may. Maybe.
He's not dead. How about that?
He said individual like one-off episodes.
Right.
Some of
He's
them.
not dead. How about that?
Okay, on that note. Guys.
thank you.